I've got a couple more
Mm.
questions before we wind up. One is acts of service is obviously a really prevalent thing in 12-step.
Yeah.
You've got your community and what you do there in the
Yep.
fitness world. Do you do anything outside of that?
Yeah. So I have been back to speak at the rehab that I was in. I've probably been back there maybe 4 or 5 times over the years. I've been back to a couple of different rehabs to talk. I've been into minimum security prison twice to talk, one that
Mm,
I was actually locked up in.
yeah.
I've been I've been with a group that goes into schools and which I've just reconnected with recently. We did a charity event actually on Sunday. We go into school, or they go into schools and they talk to kids about resilience and emotions and
Mm,
addictions. And that's where I've come in and shared my story on addiction. I've done that twice and we're planning to do that again in June or July. And on the weekend, yeah, we did this charity event raising money for mental health and suicide awareness. And we had to run stairs. We had to do stairs for like an hour and ended up becoming quite competitive. And I didn't think it was. And we ran, I did like 55 laps of these stairs in an hour. And I think on total, we got like 340 between the six of us. It was like crazy. But
amazing.
yeah, sharing my story, I feel like is my act of service, and I share it as much as I can. I've done 4
Mm,
podcasts now, I think, sharing my story because most people that come and see me, and I'm open about sharing my story on my social media
mm,
to people, anyone asks me, the amount of people over the years that have said, "Oh my God, your story." Like I have a cousin or I have a cousin, a brother, a relative that's been in addiction or
mm,
that is in addiction. What do I do for them? How do I help them? Or, your story really touched me. Like so many people have resonated with my story. And most people, I can't believe you were an addict. Like you don't look like you would have been an addict. And, I share my prison photos side to side with me now
yeah.
to really prove that anything is possible. But yeah, sharing my story is, I feel, the most powerful act of service that I have and that I can do. And I love to do that.
I think that sharing our stories is so powerful. And as you say, one of the reasons for that is so people know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
And for you, I could imagine that there'd be young women incarcerated that just feel like they're alone and
Mm.
have lost hope. And they can see your strong self out there
Mm.
and where you are 10 years later, and that can give them hope.
Mm.
And that's what this podcast is about. And I
Mm.
am sure that that's the message that we're passing on. So
Yeah.
you coming on here today is just part of that. Part of that is acts of
Yeah.
service. So I'm really grateful.
Yeah. And thank
I've
you for
got one
having me
last
on.